July 1st, 2014. This storm has continued to pick up speed. You notice it's at 50 miles per hour now, and the minimum central pressure is 103 millibars. The lower that goes, the stronger the storm becomes. The movement is northwest at 2 knots or 2 miles an hour. That's almost stationary. Notice that it's curving in closer to the coastline, which is putting it into the Gulf Stream, which is much warmer. See that curve? What that's done now is, because of that slow speed, you're going to have a hurricane on your hands sooner. South Carolina, you're going to be under the gun instead of just North Carolina on the hurricane force winds. Let's check this out. Now, this will show you the tropical storm force winds inside that circle. The storm is getting much bigger than this, and the line is showing you where you have a tropical storm warning with high winds coming all the way up the entire central Florida coast. Again, with that curvature dipping inward, that's going to, looks like it's going to rake a good bit of it. Georgia, you may escape some of this, but look right there, guys, at 2 p.m. Thursday, hurricane force winds over South Carolina. Everything is slowed down and backed up. You notice that? Still a hurricane force off Virginia, getting up into the New York area. That's 2 p.m. Friday. Okay? Everything's slowed down, and that speed's just going to give it time to pick up momentum. That's going to be a problem. This storm is not playing any longer. When you see the radar, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's becoming a force to deal with. Notice how the eye could pass right over the outer banks of North Carolina, and you know that northwestern quadrant is the strongest. But look at the size of this now. These are the latest visual satellite images, as close as you can get without zooming. This is a 1 kilometer lens. We're back out to 2 kilometers. Check this out. It's starting to pull from every direction. This storm is starting to control the weather in the entire southeast. Notice how it was fighting it. Now even the low-level winds on the surface are starting to pull around the southern tip of Florida into this storm. This thing is not playing, guys. You better not stay in the path. You've seen what these hurricanes can do in the past. If you haven't, just Google South Carolina hurricanes and Atlantic hurricanes making that rake up this coastline. Don't forget Hurricane Sandy, New York. Don't forget that. The Outer Banks, it looks like you're dead in the gun. They need to get people out of there. I'm sure they're starting to think about that. Remember, long gas lines, crowded evacuation routes. But I'm going to put a link to this particular satellite imaging with the infrared, because so that overnight you can go there, click it, and even though the sun's going down, you'll get a real good idea of where the storm's at and how strong it is. So look for that link under this video. Now you notice how strong that storm has become off Mexico, and it would be a prayer answered for some of that moisture to go north and to get our friends on the west coast some rain in there. Check this out. It's just dry until it comes over those mountains again. But you guys on the west coast, pray about this. The Lord can do anything that he desires, and we know everything's in his will, but the power of prayer is very powerful in the fact that you're asking your Father for help. Now let's take a look at this. Your storm, this is a still image, your pressure falls, check it out, going from 0 to -1 to -2. The lower the pressure, again in millibars, the stronger the storm becomes. Also, let's take a look at the gusts. Now, on land, you're just seeing up to 20, 17, 23 out on the islands there. But those are a long way from the center. And you notice tonight that tropical force winds will be all the way to the edge of the coastline. Notice also that eye is in the temperature of around 79 degrees. See, as it moves west into this Gulf Stream, guys, that temperature is going to increase. You see 82. That's fuel to the fire. Notice now it's controlling all of the jet stream. Everything's being pulled all the way, again, from the southern tip of Florida out of the Gulf into the storm. Notice when it stops on this flash. I'll pause it here for a moment. It's pulling in across the Everglades. We saw it earlier coming in more from the coast. Now it's starting to pull in from the northwest. Look at this. That's what we're dealing with. Nothing to play with. So, guys, don't wait. These are the latest spaghetti models, is what they're calling them. This one line takes it real close to the coast of Florida tonight and then out to the sea. The rest skirt right up through the Outer Banks of North Carolina, off the coast, all the way up the east coast of the United States. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 models keeping it close, one going out. It's a heads up. Don't be caught off guard there. Now, one of the things we got to also watch, these are Earth-facing images from the Solar Dynamics Observatory. See that? That was picked up on ACE satellites. There are actually 2 blasts that occurred here. Those are the small sunspots on the top. Look at that arcing across them. Each time it does that, it seems like they're increasing in size. And notice the eruptions from that side of the sun that has not come around Earth facing yet. Quite a bit of activity. Those are powerful bursts. Let's look at this also. Both of those arcs registered. See that? There was another one. There were 2 in a row. And I'll show you on the ACE proton chart where that was picked up coming in the direction of Earth because ACE is between us. See, both of those were picked up. That energy was picked up as M flares. See this? Nothing strong yet, but see the activity and the frequency increasing as these turn Earth facing. Now, because you can see this right here on the EPAM proton chart from the ACE satellites, that's the pulse that crossed across the satellite as it was coming towards Earth. That's how fast these storms can heat up. So tonight, it's going to increase because it's getting in hotter water. It has slowed. Again, watch the infrared link that I put up. And on stereo behind, these are coronal mass ejections. These are from the arc that was up at the top. These are not from the side blast we were seeing from the sunspots. These are actual coronal mass ejections picked up on stereo behind, again, from that arc that looked like a taser. Now, and they're semi-Earth facing. You saw they were on the front side of the sun facing us like that. So we got this coming. We got to watch for it. We got to look up on this. And you guys on the East Coast, watch that storm. 2104 still beta gamma delta. They're watching that new section there come around. 2107 is beta gamma. 2102 and 2106 are the 2 in the top left where that arcing was occurring. They seem to be getting slightly larger, and they're possibly in the morning when we check this, they may be getting double configurated. But 2104 is already capable of X flares. It's a heads up, guys. We're going to keep an eye on this for the next few hours on the storm. Be safe.